Hey guys, this is Dinobot Island Part 1 from Season 2 of Generation 1 of the Transformers. This is probably one of my favourite two-parters in the entire run of the Transformers. Basically, in this episode, we start out, Bumblebee and Paraglide are out on a mission to check out some strange energy waves that Teletran 1 had discovered. That's very, very Northern Ireland way of saying one. I'll try not to do that too often on the channel. I want to try and clean up my accent a little bit so as many people can understand this as possible. So Paraglide, Bumblebee find these strange energy waves and they fly through them and they discover an island that really shouldn't be there. There's no record of it, and they're memory banks. So they go check it out, and they discover real life dinosaurs on the island. And the island itself looks like the way Earth would have done during the dinosaur period. So they're not there that long till they get attacked by a couple of dinosaurs, and they make a retreat back to Autobot headquarters to report to Optimus Prime what they discovered on the island. And the discussion starts when they get there that we've got enough problems with Dinobots, never mind actual dinosaurs, which leads to Wheeljack trying to defend the honour of the Dinobots and demonstrate how he's been training them to use their abilities a little bit better. So he starts a demonstration, but the Dinobots, being the Dinobots, when they were originally designed and built, Wheeljack and Ratchet had decided, the brains of dinosaurs weren't that big, so they were going to do the same with the Dinobots. So they're naturally not as smart as the rest of the Autobots. They're clumsy and stupid, and during their demonstration, all hell breaks loose and they almost destroy Autobot headquarters, and the Autobots are ready to fight them to a standstill, but Prime calls them off. He's like, no, Grimlock will bring the rest of the Dinobots under control. The Dinobots look at Grimlock as their leader. They'll listen to anything he tells them, so he manages to get them under control, and he's apologetic to Prime. He's like, Dinobots don't mean to be causing all this trouble. And Optimus Prime is like, I completely understand, but you're too big to train at Autobot headquarters. And Bumblebee comes up with the idea of how about we use the island, what we found. And Optimus Prime okays that idea, thinks this is great, and he's about to send them off. And we see that Soundwave, in true Transformers fashion, there's always a Decepticon spy somewhere whenever this stuff's happening. Soundwave's out there along with Ravage, and he's reporting back to Megatron, and Megatron orders him to send Laserbeak after the Dinobots to see where they're going. He's intrigued by this island, so off Laserbeak goes. Spike is along with the journey this time, him and Paraglide leading the Dinobots to the island, and there's a whole mess load of trouble that Spike gets into on the island. He gets attacked by a pterodactyl. First of all, he's saved by Swoop, and no sooner is he rescued from that, he gets attacked by another dinosaur, and then all the Dinobots have to rescue him again. This all happens within like a 2-minute period. So Paraglide and him leave to go back to the Autobot headquarters and leave the Dinobots to it. So the Dinobots start their tests, target practice, and they're no good, but they're getting a little bit better. They're trying out their other abilities like breathing fire and whatnot, and destroying stuff with their tails. And Megatron and the Decepticons turn up to start stealing energy off the island. Laserbeak also discovered that it was rich in energy resources, natural energy. It's a period of time before mankind started stripping the planet of energy himself. It's raw energy, untapped. Megatron's like, we could get enough power out of this island to rule the galaxy, basically. So they turn up, start stealing energy, and Starscream, being the voice of reason for once, is like, he's kind of worried that stealing energy from this island might not be the best idea, but he goes along with it. Starscream is super intelligent, but he's loyal in a way to Megatron, so he goes with most of the orders, but you're always waiting for him to turn on Megatron. Doesn't happen in this episode, but there is in part 2. There's a bit of foreshadowing there. That's skipping ahead. Basically, the Decepticons are just starting to steal the energy from the island. We cut back to modern life, and Bumblebee and Spike have gone to the library to get a couple of books out on dinosaurs, so Spike can research a little bit more in the subject. This is set back in the early 80s, kids. There was no internet back then, believe it or not. Some of you kids might be watching this now and thinking the internet has been around forever. No, I can remember a world without the internet, and if we wanted to learn something back in the day, we couldn't just reach under our back pocket and pull out our smartphone and look stuff up. We had to actually go to a library, get books out, sit down and read and learn that way. It wasn't as handy as it is today. But as they're leaving the library, this portal opens up in the street, and a woolly mammoth with a barbarian on its back comes out. It's a time portal, which is answered in episode 2 where this came from. But Spike and Bumblebee are running for their lives from this woolly mammoth, and it knocks into the building that they're hiding in, and basically collapses the whole building down on the top of them. But Bumblebee jumps in there, protects Spike, gets over the top of him, protects him from the fallen rubble. We go back to the island, and the Dinobots have discovered the presence of the Decepticons, so they are going to go attack and drive the Decepticons from their island. This is Dinobot Island, they shouldn't be here, so they start their assault on Megatron and the Decepticons, and Skywarp and the Seekers are about to attack or was it Skywarp, or was it Frost or Ramjet? It was one of the Coneheads, I think. They're about to attack the Dinobots, and Megatron stops them. He's like, no, others will deal with them. So he flies off, and he starts firing shots at actual real dinosaurs, and he starts a stampede towards the Dinobots. And the Energon cubes that the Decepticons were starting to produce are up on top of a cliff edge, and that's where Megatron is driving the stampede to drive the Dinobots towards the edge of this cliff, because at the bottom of it there is a tar pit down there, and he drives the Dinobots over the edge. He's like, even the mighty Dinobots can't fight all these creatures, and he succeeds. They fall off the edge into the tar pits and get dragged below the surface, and the episode closes out with Megatron laughing maniacally at what he has just done. So this is a great wee episode. I think the reason I enjoy this episode so much is because it's this two-parter is one of the few VHS copies I had of the Transformers as a kid growing up. So I watched that VHS done, basically. I'm pretty sure up behind me in one of those shelves up there, I'm pretty sure that's up there. I actually need to look into that. Curious to check out my VHS collection now. But yes, great little episode, good opener. At the end of it, we get like a preview of episode 2 and what's going to happen and that. But we'll do that in the next Transformers review. So guys, if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and come back for the next one. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you then.